The stars are right, and that means it's time for another episode of The Whisperer in Darkness. I'm your host, the Man from Lang. Thank you very much for joining me today. Hello, Arkham horror fans. This is your game of the day. Remember, you can get in on the fun and tell me which investigator and what scenario you would like me to play by heading over to surveymonkey.com and answering 3 quick questions. Do that, and I will do my best to record that playthrough for you. If you like this sort of content, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel a great deal. Before we get started, I'd like to thank the patrons of this channel who have gone above and beyond to bring you content like these playthroughs. If you'd like to support the channel and see your name on this list, head over to patreon.com, sign up for a tier of your choice, and claim your rewards. That would be awesome. Without further ado, let's play some Arkham Horror LCG. On today's Game of the Day, we are going to pit Preston Fairmont against the Pallid Mask in standalone mode. This is a Preston deck that I have been playing around with for the past couple weeks. You may remember when Nate, Lost in Time and Space, and I did our review of the rogue cards in A Light in the Fog. We didn't have a lot of good things to say about Lucky Penny. It seemed very slow and inconsistent, and not to mention hard to get into play considering it's exceptional. So I challenged myself to build a Lucky Penny deck. And this is the result of those efforts. I've had some success with this deck, although it seems a little inconsistent. So we'll see how it performs today. We have, just to run through the deck quickly, we've got the Eye of Jinn and Lucky Penny, which work quite well together if you can get them going. The rest of the deck is based on a traditional Dark Horse Preston build, which has been around for probably since before Preston was actually released in the Circle Undone. I know I was playing around with the Dark Horse Preston build the moment they spoiled him. We've got Backpack level 2 in there in order to find both the Eye of Jinn and Lucky Penny if we shouldn't be lucky enough to draw them, which of course is a problem for most rogues. We've got Leo DeLuca in there to take some additional actions. Dark Horse Dig Deep Track Shoes, of course, to Dark Horse is the name of the game here, so we will be looking for that. Track Shoes, of course, just a great card for moving around. We've got False Covenant in there. It works quite well with Lucky Penny. You can pull a Blessed token with the Lucky Penny, flip Tails, convert it to a Curse token, and then you've got the choice with the False Covenant whether to cancel that token and throw that Cursed Blessed token back into the bag, or you can let it ride, and if you've got Eye of Jinn on the table, you can take an additional action if you happen to use it on that action. So it's some interesting decisions to make there. We've got look what I found, Intel Report. Of course, our bless tech includes Keep Faith and Signum Crucis and Tempt Fate. Hopefully we can draw those early so we can dump a bunch of Blessed tokens into the bag. Trial by Fire, of course, a standard in somebody like Preston, who has low skill values. Resourceful is awfully nice, so we can recycle Keep Faith and Signum Crucis if necessary. And of course, Rise to the Occasion, another pretty standard card in Preston decks given his ones across the board. We're going to have to add 2 basic weaknesses to our deck since we are playing in standalone, and that will flesh it out. So let's see how this deck works in practice. We will flip over to Octagon and give it a shot. We are set up and ready to go. So we're going to just, we'll draw our basic weaknesses first of all. All right, well, we are ready to go. So we've got Preston here with False Covenant and, of course, his signature asset, Family Inheritance. If you haven't played a Dark Horse Preston deck before, the basic idea is to play Dark Horse and then run the deck off of the resources you get off of Family Inheritance every turn and keep his resource pool empty so he can really leverage cards like Fire Axe. So let's shuffle up our basic weaknesses. We have Day of Reckoning. So attach Day of Reckoning to the current agenda, then search the Chaos Bag and seal the Elder Sign token. Okay, So that's one, and our second one is going to be, oh, the Tower. That's a tough one. 4 cost, and of course if we draw that in our opening hand, we won't be able to commit cards to skill tests. So that's a rough one. Couple of interesting weaknesses. I haven't played, actually. I think this is the first time that I've ever had Day of Reckoning in my deck, so that will be looking forward to seeing how that works out. Of course, the Tower, man, I played a whole campaign with that in my deck, and that was painful, but I've had it in a couple other decks recently, and it hasn't been so bad. So we are playing in standalone mode. So Preston is starting at the Gate to Hell, 1 Shroud location with 2 clues. When the Gate to Hell is revealed, put the top 2 Catacomb cards in the Catacombs deck into play above and below the Gate to Hell. The Pallid Mask is rapidly becoming one of my absolutely favorite scenarios in the Arkham Horror LCG. The Path to Carcosa campaign has a lot of great scenarios in it. Curtain Call being one of my favorites, one of my favorite of the intro scenarios. And then, of course, there's Unspeakable Oath and the Pallid Mask. And I've also got a bit of a soft spot for a Phantom of Truth, which I quite enjoy as well, both in Doubt and Conviction mode. Conviction mode is a little bit more painful, but I do enjoy playing cat and mouse with all the enemies in that one. So the Path to Carcosa campaign is excellent. We're ready to draw our opening hand. Let's shuffle things up and see where we stand in the grand scheme of things. All right, we got a Fire Axe, Rise to the Occasion, Leo DeLuca, Resourceful, and a Flashlight. So no lucky penny or Eye of Jinn. So let's get rid of we'll mulligan, Rise to the Occasion, Resourceful. Man, do we mulligan the Flashlight? Probably not, given that this is a 1 Shroud location and we can play the Flashlight and we would be able to grab those 2 clues pretty quickly because we need clues to move between the locations here. So let's we'll mulligan the 2 and let's see what we get. We get Dark Horse and our signature. Well, we can't have our signature weakness in there. It's interesting, in this particular scenario, you can actually get rid of Preston's signature weakness. It's a bit of a... It feels like you're cheating, but if you have the card, if you draw the Treachery Look behind you, you can discard your hand and get rid of Lodge Debts, so you don't have to save the 10 resources to play it, which is kind of nice. And we get Signum Crucis, so we can actually commit... we can get some Bless tokens if we're fortunate. So not a bad hand. I mean, I'm always happy to see Leo DeLuca, and but I mean, the game here is to show off Lucky Penny and Eye of Jinn, but no backpack, no Lucky Penny, and no Eye of Jinn. So let's kick this game off. We will play. First off, let's play 6 resources. 4, 5, 6 to play Leo DeLuca. Nice to see him turn 1. That will give us an extra action. Now, do we go Dark Horse or do we go Flashlight? I think we go Flashlight in this case. Because we can actually use the charges here to grab a couple of clues very easily. So we play Flashlight. We will spend a supply to reduce the Shroud by 1 as our 3rd action of the turn, and we will draw a -1. So we grab this clue. We will do it again. So we're going 1 versus 0, and we draw -4, but that is okay because it was a 0 Shroud location. So we grab the 2nd clue, and that'll be our turn. So not too bad. Opening turn, we've got Fire Axe, Dark Horse, and Signum in our hand for next turn. and we draw Tempt Fate. So we have a way to start getting Bless and Curse tokens into the bag. We can also use Signum, which would be nice if we can find a High Shroud location. We can use that, use Preston's one whatever, and use, or if we get a bad Treachery during the Mythos phase, we can also commit it. 1 Doom of 6. Our encounter card is going to be the Catacombs Docent. 3 fight, 2 health, 2 evade. He goes to the nearest unrevealed location. We can parlay with him to look at a unrevealed location. Ideally, you just want to kill these guys because they are nasty enemies that can come out if he's still around. They can, I forget what the name of the enemy is, but he can get replaced by another enemy, which is bad news. All right, well, we get our 4 resources back on Family Inheritance. So I think we get 4 actions now because of Leo. First action, we're going to spend 2 off of Preston and 1 off Family Inheritance to play Dark Horse. So we're off to a pretty good start. All of our skills are +1 now that we have 0 clues in our 0 resources. We're going to play 1 for the Fire Axe. So we're good there, and then we're going to move up. We got to spend a clue to do that, up to this Catacombs location. It is the Narrow Shaft 2 Shroud location with 1 clue, forced when you would move from Narrow Shaft to an unrevealed location. We have to test 3 agility. If you fail, we take a damage and cancel the effects of that move. When Narrow Shaft is revealed, put the topmost catacomb in the Catacombs deck into play above or to the right. So I think we will go to the right, because why not? We can create a sort of a compact compact map. Yeah, I really love this scenario. It's one of my. I love how the map develops as you play. It's such a cool mechanic. We have 1 action left. We can try to kill this goon. We're gonna have to spend a couple resources. So we could go. Is it worth dumping 2 blast tokens in? Probably not. We've also got Tempt Fate, but I just want to kill this guy at the moment. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 3. 6 versus 3, and we'll deal 2 damage if we hit. We get a -2, so the Catacombs Docent is dead. And that's all she wrote. We go to the upkeep phase. We draw a Resourceful. So that's kind of nice. We can maybe play Signum Crucis and then get it back with Resourceful to play it again. We will not gain resources with the due to Dark Horse, so we can keep gain our 4 back for Family Inheritance, and we're on to turn 2 or turn 3 Mythos phase. We draw Obscuring Fog. That is a bit of a problem. Adds 2 Shroud to this location. So now it's a 4 Shroud location. So we could add 3 Bless tokens in if we just take a test. We could add 3 Blessed, 3 Cursed, and 3 more Blessed. So we'd have 6 Blessed tokens in there. And we'd be investigating at a 2. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? We'd have to use... actually, no, we'd be investigating 2 versus 4. So we'd need to draw a couple, maybe a Blessed token or 2 in order to pull it off. But let's do it. Why not? I'm not too sure how we're going to get past the agility test right now. We don't have our track shoes. So maybe we'll have to go down, back down here to this catacombs location. Because otherwise we're just going to take damage and cancel the move, which is kind of annoying. So let's try to grab this clue. We'll commit, before we do that, we're going to play Tempt Fate. So we'll add 3 Blessed tokens and 3 Curse tokens to the bag. Then we're going to commit Signum Crucis. So the commit only to a skill test you are performing, and only if the difficulty of that test is higher than your base skill value. So we're 4 versus 1. After you commit Signum Crucis to a skill test, add that many tokens to the bag. So we add 3 more Blessed tokens. So we're at 6 Bless, 3 Curse. And we're going 3v4 at the moment. We could go 4v4 if we commit Resourceful, but we don't have anything in our deck that we want to commit. We didn't want to investigate with the flashlight since we couldn't trigger Signum Crucis that way. So we'll go, I guess we're going 3 versus 4. Chaos Bag says -2. So that will be a failure. Okay, so what we can do now, we will use our flashlight to go, we'll reduce the shroud by 2, so we're going 3v2. Chaos Bag says there is our first Blessed token, so we're going 5v2. We draw again. We get a Curse token, which we can cancel with False Covenant. Okay, so we cancel it, and then we have to add a Curse token. Whoops, that was a Blessed token. That was the wrong one. It's doing this nonsense. It's adding multiple tokens when I hit that. So we add that Curse token back in. We're still at 5 versus 2. Chaos Bag says 0. And we have a bug again. For some reason this gets buggy when the Chaos Bag, so we have 5 Blessed tokens and 3 Curse tokens in the bag, but we drew a 0. So we get that clue. Now, I don't think I'm going to risk, we get rid of the Obscuring Fog. I don't think we're going to risk making this test because we'd only be 2 versus 3. I don't really like those odds, so let's move down here. We'll move twice. We go down to the Candlelit Tunnels, 3 shroud location, 2 clues, test 3. Intellect to read the ancient signs. If you succeed, look at an unrevealed side of any location. I don't think I've ever looked at an unrevealed side of a location in this scenario. It can come in handy towards the end when you're searching for the blocked passage or the Tomb of Bones. So when Candlelit Tunnels is revealed, put the top 2 catacombs cards to the left and to the right. Oh, this is interesting. I haven't actually had this sort of setup. So we'll move everything over. So we're going left and right. And we needed to spend a clue. That's the one trick about this scenario, is I always forget to spend clues to move into those locations. But we spend a clue. So we'll need to try to discover some more. We need some more clue discovery tech. We may just have to draw a few cards in order to get what we need. But that's going to do it for this turn. We get another copy of Dark Horse, so no big help there. We go to 3 of 6 Doom. We draw Spirit's Torment. Of course, now we will, when we move, we either have to lose an action or take a horror. or we can, of course, take an action to place a clue on our location, but I don't see us doing that. We get 4 actions. I guess we'll just start investigating 2v3, which it's not great. We'll get rid of that resource since we don't need it. We could get Signum Crucis back, though. So we could go 3v3. Pretty low odds, though, even with the blessed tokens in there. Let's give it a shot. Why not? We'll commit Resourceful to go 3v3. Chaos Bag gives us a curse token. Why is it wanting to add blessed tokens in every time? We can cancel that with the False Covenant and add... Why is it doing this? Ah, come on. There we go. Okay, stop adding blessed tokens every time I do that. So we canceled that. So we're still 3 versus 3. We get a -2, so no luck there. We lost Resourceful. Let's try it again. Now we're going 2v3. That is a skull, which is -X. -X is the number of locations away. So that's 1. We'll try it one more time. Another curse token. So that's actually a -2. So now we're 0 v3. But we get a blessed token. So now we're back up to, math. We were 2v3, we were 0v3, we're back up to 2v3. Chaos Bag throws us another cultist. That's a -2, so we fail. Man, this is, we're going to probably have to draw some cards next turn. We'll try one more time. We get another curse token. So we are 0v3. And we get another -1. So all in all, that was a bit of a waste of a turn. We will have to try to do better next turn. We draw Dig Deep. No help there. It does help us on agility, though. So we could... we'll probably lose... I think what we'll do is we'll move to an easier location or just draw some cards here. 4v6. We get a ghoul. We get the ghoul minion 2/2/2. Pretty standard. Deals a damage in a horror. So we are currently 2v2. We add 4 actions. 2v2, we can go 4v2, 6v2 with the fire axe. We draw a -2. So the ghoul minion is dead. That was our first action. Second action, I think we're going to lose an action and move and spend a clue to go to this location. It is the Well of Souls. After you end your turn at Well of Souls, you must either take 1 direct horror or discard 2 cards at random from your hand. When the Well of Souls is revealed, put the topmost Catacombs location into the deck above, below, or to the right of the Well of Souls. Above or below or to the right. If we go above, we sort of connect everything. If we go to the right, we give ourselves a little bit of I'm going to go right. So we killed the ghoul. We should have one less action. Since we moved, we lost an action to go down to 2. We moved. So we're down. So not good. Not good. I think we move back. We'll stay out of the Well of Souls, but we need to okay, a look what I found. That's huge at this point. That is huge. So we'll that'll get us 2 clues here, hopefully, next turn. 5 of 6 doom. Of course, we know the I forget what it's called, but one of the big bad enemies is coming out. So we'll have to deal with him. And we'll see what we get. The shadow it's not look behind you, it's a shadow behind you. Put the shadow behind you into play in your threat area limit 1. You have to take an action to look behind you, otherwise you've got to discard your hand or all of your resources. So that's pretty easy to do for Preston either way. We can simply gain a resource next turn and do it that way. Or discard our hand, since we only have a dig deep and a 3 dark horse in our hand. Might be worthwhile discarding our hand if we can use this look what I found this turn. So we need to fail a skill test by 2 or less. We are 2v3. So we will attempt. So we need to be like 1v3 in order to play our look what I found. So first action, 2v3. We get a bless token. So we are up to 4v3. We get a curse token. So now we're down to 2v3. Do we cancel that? We went 2 to 4, back down to 2. I think I'm going to cancel that with the False Covenant. So we'll add a curse token. And we will draw again. We get another bless, so we go up to 4, up to 6v3. And then we go all the way back down to 2v3 when we draw -4, but that lets us play Look What I Found. So we discover 2 clues anyway after failing that skill test. So a lot of work for 2 clues. We have 2 bless tokens and 1 curse token in the bag. I'm having to constantly remove tokens manually because sometimes Octagon gets buggy and starts adding in tokens for everything. Every time you pull from the bag, it wants to add tokens. So we could... what we can do, I think, we will pay 2 to play Dig Deep. We're going to discard our hand this turn anyway, since we don't need the Look What I Found. We can take a horror or lose an action to move, but I kind of want to move away. Actually, do I want to move away? I'm going to have to fight that thing next turn. Maybe I just move up. just since I'm going to have to fight the spirit, I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go back up. And I'll lose an action to do that, so I don't lose a... since I don't want to take a horror. I fail to look behind me, so I have to discard all my resources or all cards in my hand. So we'll lose the second Dark Horse. This upkeep, we're going to gain a resource, even though we don't have to. There's Track Shoes, that's nice. During the upkeep, we'll also get a resource and refill Family Inheritance. Mythos Phase, we advance. We get the Specter of Death. 3 fight, 5 health, 3 evade. Monster Geist Elite starts at the starting location, which in this case is the Gate to Hell. Hunter Retaliate. While Specter of Death is exhausted, it takes 1 less damage. After you fail a skill test while attempting to evade, it attacks you. 2 victory points, hits for 2 damage, and 2 horror. So we will go and add Empire of the Dead. So we've got 12 turns. Draw an encounter card. Nearest unrevealed location. Another Catacombs Docent. Which way do I want to go? I want to go down here. It's pretty far away, though. I mean, maybe I go this... Maybe I go... How many locations are left in the deck? 7? So 5 is the magic number because that's when we can start finding the locations we need. So maybe putting him over here isn't a bad idea, because I could go, rather than go all the way over here past the Well of Souls, I can go... I kind of like the victory point there too, but that's going to be tough to get right now. Yeah, we'll stick with that. All right, so we're fighting this dude, fighting the Specter of Death. So we will go. We'll spend a resource off us. So we're going to go 2, 4. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 3. We get a 0, so he takes 2 damage. The bad token here is the -2 because the attack will deal 1 less damage if we hit, which is really annoying when you're fighting enemies like this. But he has 5 health, so it's actually not too bad. We've got to attack him 3 times anyway, so as long as we don't draw multiple cultists, I just said that, so that's going to happen. We should be okay. So that was our first action. Now we'll spend a couple more resources. We will go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 3 again. We get a bless token, so we're at 8v3. We get an elder sign, so we go up. That's a 0, and we automatically succeed if we spend 2 resources. So he takes another 2 damage. And we attack him 1 more time. We spend our last resource. Now this could be bad. We could end up in trouble here. We are at 2, 4v3. 4v3. Well, that's all we can do. Chaos Bag gives us a -1. So we end up 3v3 and we kill him. Alright, he's dead. Killed the Specter of Death. Now we can continue on our merry way. So we'll move back down to the Candlelit Tunnels. And next turn we can move here and kill the Docent. And well, maybe not get track shoes into play quite yet. We draw another copy of Signum Crucis. That's okay. It'd be nice to play that at the Well of Souls and get a bunch of Bless tokens, but we'll see. So we get our 4 actions back. We get... I think we'll keep a resource on us because we can use that resource to fight the dude next turn. All right, we are at 1 Doom of 12, and we draw. Oh, geez. Okay, 2 Spirits of 2 Spirit Torment on the same location. That's a first. So now we are going to take 2 horror or lose 2 actions to move through here. Yikes. Well, I'm going to take 2 horror because I don't want to lose any actions. Spend a clue to move. Put a horror on our buddy here, Leo, and we'll take 1. And we will... so we moved. We're going to fight. So we're going 4v3, 6v3 with the fire axe. Oh, we should check this location first. It is the Labyrinth of Bones. Forest when Labyrinth of Bones is revealed. Put the top 3 catacombs locations above, below, and to the right. So we can go above and below, but not to the right. Above and below. So there are now 5 locations in the Catacombs deck. So we know locations that are placed after these locations will be the good ones. So we moved. We removed our action to fight. We are going 6v3. Chaos Bag gives us a -3, but that's enough to kill him. We haven't seen really a lot of our clue tech this game. Do I take a couple actions to draw some cards? I kind of feel like we need to draw some cards. Otherwise, we're just taking 2v2s. Investigating at 2v2, and that doesn't seem very productive. Let's draw a card. Get a rise to the occasion. Okay. Unfortunately, it is the level 0 version. And this location is not at least 2 higher, so it does us no good. So let's draw 1 more card. There's the tower. We can no longer commit cards to skill tests. However, that is pretty easy for us to get rid of. We get our 2nd copy of Leo during the upkeep phase. We will get rid of that resource, and we will gain 1 on family inheritance. Yes, indeed. I hate when I try to show off a deck like, hey, I created this cool Lucky Penny deck that uses Eye of Jinn and False Covenant, and then I never see anything. I don't see the combo. It's like, man. All right, well. 2 of 12 Doom. We're running out of time here. We get an, oh, geez. The Obscuring Fogs are really kicking our butt this game. I usually draw Obscuring Fog when I've already cleared the location of clues, so it just whiffs, but I have not been that lucky this game. Well, this is a 4-shroud location now. That's not going to do us any good. It'd be nice to get the the track shoes down, or we could get rid of the tower. Yeah, I say we get rid of the tower. We'll spend all 4 resources to nail the tower, get the tower out of our hand. I think we're going to spend an action to move, so we'll lose a clue. We'll move up or down. Down's probably better. So we have 2 actions remaining. Oh, we get another one of these. So above and below and to the right. So we're going Labyrinth of Bones, below and to the right. Okay. So potentially we have locations in play that we need. So now we need to we need to grab, need a couple clues, and we need to find either the Tome of Bones or the Tomb of Bones, so we can kill the man in the Pallid mask and then make a run for it, which isn't going to be too hard. We're really close by the exit. But man, 2v2. We would add 1 with Signum Crucis, 1 Bless token. That's not great. Normally I'd play Track Shoes right now, but we'll just, man, do I add 1 Bless token? It's not great. I do have an extra Leo though. Yeah, okay. So we'll add a Bless token. Why is it adding 2 Bless tokens now? Gee whiz, Octagon. So it was 1v2, so we add 1 Bless token. And would have been better to do it up here, but, and then we'll also commit Leo. So we're going 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4v2. We get a Bless token, so we're going 6v2. And then we get a -4, so we go back down to 2v2, but we do get a clue out of the deal. Okay. So that Bless token paid off. So that's good. All right. We have 1 action remaining. I feel like this is probably our easiest place to grab clues. So I'm going to draw a card. We get Day of Reckoning. Interesting. All right. Attach Day of Reckoning to the current agenda when you then search the Chaos bag for the Elder sign. So yeah, no big deal. I mean, we lose the Elder sign, but as far as weaknesses go, that's pretty. Oh, there it was, right there. It was the bottom. Was the bottom token. So we'll seal that on there. So that's gone for the rest of the game, since that's attached to the agenda, and the agenda is never going to advance again. So. Unfortunately, drawing a card didn't do us any good, but we've seen both our weaknesses. There's the lucky penny. Hey. All right. So here's the problem. Again, we finally draw the lucky penny, but now we don't have any Bless or Curse tokens to work with. We could use the card draw, but we only have 1 Bless token in the bag. That's not great. Let's gain 3 clue, 3 or 4 actions. Gain our 4 resources. Do we want to keep this resource that we just gained? We have the rise. We could go back to the Labyrinth of Bones. The Labyrinth of Bones above us. We would be going 5v4. That's still not good. Yeah, we just haven't seen... we haven't seen Trial by Fire. We haven't seen the Eye of Jinn, stuff like that. So it's not quite working out the way I'd hoped, but it's only 2 of 12. We've got time. All right. Do we keep this resource? I guess we could play the Lucky Penny next turn. Doesn't really do us any good, though. Or the track shoes. Excuse me. Track shoes gets us more agility, but we don't need that. We could go check out some of these locations. Three of 12 doom. Crypt Chill. Alright, we're probably gonna lose some resources here. We're actually only 1v4, so we're gonna lose an asset. 1v4, and we draw a skull, which is a number of locations. 1, 2, 3, so that's a -3, so yeah, we fail. We'll lose the flashlight, no big deal. I guess we could also lose the, I don't know, can you discard the tower? Normally you can't discard, I know you can't discard basic weaknesses from your hand willingly, but I don't know if you can discard from them from play willingly. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, we need some luck if we're going to grab this other clue. That would give us a chance to check out these 2 locations. So let's try. We're going to go 2v2. Actually, let's play the track shoes first. We've got the resources. We might as well get them out. And so now we're going to go 2v2. We get a skull, so that's a lot negative. 2v2. We get a 0, so we do actually grab a clue that time. All right. And we move. Move to the right. Spend a clue. Remember that. Crypt of the Sepulchral Lamp. 2 shroud location, 2 clues. Crypt is investigated using willpower, which actually helps us because we've got our dig deep down, so we can actually commit some resources to passing this. When Crypt is revealed, put top 2 catacombs locations to the right, above and to the right. So we're just going to the right. So the Crypt could be, the tomb, I should say, could be here or here. So we shall see. Now, of course, we will be given the choice of either, we can either fight the man in the Pallid mask and do it the hard way, which actually isn't going to be that hard this time because we just have to escape through the gate to hell, which is only 2 locations away. Or we can do it the sort of easier way, I think, and go through. If you've got the clues, you can just pay the clues and then go through the Black Passage, which is a pretty easy way, I think, to do it. Where that? Oh, that was at the end of our turn. All right. We draw another Rise to the Occasion. Not overly helpful. Not overly helpful at these low shroud locations. So we'll gain our 4 actions back. Do we have a card we want to play? Nope, so we'll get rid of that resource. We won't gain a resource due to Dark Horse, and we will push up Family Inheritance up. 4 of 12 Doom. Another ghoul. Welcome. We will fight the ghoul. We will go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 2. 6v2, Chaos Bag says, -2, the ghoul is dead. Yeah, I really like this scenario, not only because the map is really cool and the way the mechanics of the map work, but it's also, I find it a really good scenario for testing decks, because you need to be pretty good at investigating and combat, so it works, or evasion, so it works really well if you're testing a solo deck, just to see, like, can my deck investigate, can my deck fight or evade? You have to do a little of everything in this one, so it's I like that aspect of it. So again, we're in this position of having to go, actually this one is investigated with willpower, so let's commit the 2 we'll spend 2 willpower, so we're going to go 4v2. Chaos Bag gives us a Bless token, so we have no more Bless tokens in the bag. We are up to 6v2, and we get a -1, so we pass. So we grab this clue. Okay, we've got 2 clues. We can check out. We don't have any more resources. So we can go do some exploring, I think. Let's move over here. We'll spend a clue. We found the blocked passage. 7 shroud location. Now here's where you want to investigate with Signum Crucis. Man, oh man. That's 6 Bless tokens. When you reveal blocked passage, we take 2 damage. Alright, we took a couple damage, and we can't leave this round. So we're stuck here, so we might as well draw a card. Alright. Oh, there we go. Intel report. Hooray! We got some ways of grabbing clues. Yeah, like we've only seen 1 Look What I Found. We haven't seen Trial by Fires. We haven't seen, up until now, Intel report. Eye of Jinn is really good if you can get it down or find it. We haven't seen backpacks. Lucky Penny's kind of pointless right now because there's only 1 curse token in the bag. So this deck isn't really giving a very good show of what Lucky Penny can do. So hey, but that's why we have Game of the Day. So who knows, maybe tomorrow we'll be playing this deck again against a different scenario, and we will see if it can be any more consistent. So that's the end of our turn. So let's gain our actions back. Oh no, we drew a card, sorry. Right, okay, we couldn't move. So now we draw, there's the backpack. Do we want to... I think we want to keep that resource because we can use it over here at the crypt. We have to go back this way anyway. All right. We'll put 4 resources on Family Inheritance. We will go to the Mythos Phase. It is turn 12, for those of you who have been keeping track. 5 of 12 Doom, and our Encounter Guard is another Shadow Behind You. So now we can either lose all our resources or drop our hand, which I think we'll probably just, we can discard all our resources to get rid of that since we only have 1. So Preston will move back to the crypt of the Sepulchral Lamp. We will investigate. We will go... Ooh, but that's tough, because then we're at... Because then we're only at 1v2. Well, we don't have anything else we want to pay for right now, so... 1v2, 2v2, or sorry, we're going 1v2, 2v2, 3v2, 4v2, 5v2, 5v2. We get a -1. So we are at 4v2. So we grab this clue. Let's move. Let's try to use our track shoes. Usually I have no resources in my pool when I'm doing this, so it's I've got a bit of a bigger boost. But right now it's only 2v3. That's not great, but we'll try. Otherwise, we're just gonna use the action. We're spoiled for actions right now. So 2v3. Nope. That's a skull. That's a -1, 2, 3. Is it just adding all these? Weird. I wonder if that's the reason it's giving me the weird... Alright. Who knows? So yeah, we failed. We'll just move again and spend a clue to do that. And it's a Candlelit Tunnels again. Candlelit Tunnels, 3 shroud location, 2 clues. When it's revealed, put the top 2 cards to the left and to the right. So this map has gone, usually I end up going like really far to the right, I always seem. This game has been different. This game I have been going to the left, which is unusual. So we're going left and right. So now we know one of these is the tome, or the tomb. Whoops. One of these is the tomb. We know that for sure. It's just which one. Ideally, it'd be this one, because that would make it really easy to get out. We could kill the man in the Pallid mask and then just run for it, and we'd be in sweet, sweet city. That's going to do it for our turn. At the end of our turn, we lose our resource and discard look behind, the shadow behind you, since we didn't look behind us. And we get our second intel report. Well, good thing we've got some clues here. We can just discover these 2 clues easily enough. And that will give us, I think that almost gives us enough clues for the game. So we will gain our 4 actions back. We will lose... we'll keep that resource because we're going to spend it anyway on goodies. We're going to spend it on an intel report next turn. 6 of 12 doom. We don't have a ton of time. There's the ghost. Man, I hate the ghost. Or the poltergeist. What a pain. Alright, and it's in a bad spot. It's in a really bad spot. Fortunately, rise to the occasion. We have a rise to the occasion in our hand. We have no way of killing the poltergeist, so we're going to have to evade it. Ideally, this location to the right of me is the tomb. If it's not the tomb, we're in some trouble. Because then we're going to have to go back through this poltergeist a couple of times. Not terrible with the track shoes. Alright, well, we have to evade it. Rise to the occasion will actually help us here. Because our base skill value is 1. So we get 3. So we are at 2 currently. We get 3 is 5. We can spend 1 resource on Dig Deep and get 2 more. So we go 2, 3, 4, 5. We're actually 3. Okay, sorry. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7v4. Let's commit the backpack 2 to go 8v4. That blessed token is not in the bag. Why are you drawing blessed tokens for me? Did it add blessed tokens to the bag? There shouldn't be any in there. We get a cultist. That's a -2. It's not an attack, so we don't care. So this thing is evaded. What we can do is second action, we can spend 4 resources to play an intel report to grab these 2 clues. So we pay 2 regularly and then another 2. Whoops. We've got 2 actions left. Oh man, I hope this is the tomb right here. Make my life easier. Spend a clue. Move into this location. It is the Tomb of Shadows. Okay. Woo! Alright. So we've got a straight shot into the gate to hell. We can... The poltergeist, we don't have to worry about him anymore. Oh, that's refreshing. So now we advance. So in Tomb of Shadows, we get +1. We advance to act, the next act. So we spawn the man in the pallid mask in the tomb. So I need to create him. I don't think I have him in my deck, so at least I shouldn't, since you're not supposed to include him in your deck. Maybe it's because of that. Maybe that's the reason it's adding cards. Okay, so he spawns here. And then we check the campaign log. If Ishimara Haruko is not listed under VIP Slain, she shows up. She is, we will have to deal with her as well, which is fine, because she's far away from us at the moment. So she is here. Ishimaru is 6 combat, or 6 fight, 4 health, 3 evade. Hunter, after you deal damage to her by an effect other than an attack, you draw the top card of the encounter deck, hits for a damage and a horror. Not overly worried about her. I would really like to be able to grab these 2 clues for the victory points. I'd also kind of like to go back to the Well of Souls and get that victory point before the game ends. So maybe we can do all that. Now we have an action. The question is, do we engage the man in the pallid mask now? So we've got 2 options here, I should say, for those of you who are new to this scenario. Act 2A, the path is barred. It gives you a choice. We can either kill the man in the pallid mask, or we can spend 2 clues in order to advance the act. We can spend the 2 clues. That is not an issue. If we do that, all we need to do is get to the blocked passage and we win. So that's why I consider the blocked passage the easier way out, because I mean, it's, in this case, it's actually quite easy because it's like right there. I can almost get there. I could probably actually get there this turn. I could spend the 2 clues, And then if I got lucky with a track shoes move, I could be in the blocked passage at the end of this turn and finish the game. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to get out the front door. Now, obviously, if you're playing this in a campaign, it depends whether you want conviction or doubt. That sort of determines your decision. I can't remember which way is which. I think if you go out the front door, you are playing for conviction. If you go out the blocked passage, you are going doubt, if I remember correctly. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to engage the man in the Pallid mask. We'll take the action to engage him, and then we'll take a horror during the enemy phase with the plan of killing him next turn. And that will be that. So we go to the enemy phase. Ishimaru moves up. Tempt Fate for the upkeep. We will keep a resource from Dark Horse. We will gain 4 resources on Family Inheritance. We will get our 4 actions back. Again, see, we drew Lucky Penny, and then we didn't have the tokens, and now we've got Tempt Fate, so we're going to get some tokens. I may play Lucky Penny just hopefully so you guys can see how it works, if it works. But I'd kind of like to grab these 2 clues, maybe try to get these 2 clues if I can play dodgeball with Ishimaru for a turn or 2. But we are running out of time. That's the other thing. So 7 of 12 Doom. We draw Grasping Hands, 3. We have an agility of 2. Do we want to spend that resource? I don't want to take a ton of damage here, but if I spend that resource, we go up to... I mean, I could dump some tokens in the bag. Yeah, sure. Let's do that. We'll spend a resource on Dig Deep. So we go to 2, we go to 3, we go to 4v3. I'm going to use Tempt Fate. So we've got 4 cursed, 3 blessed. And we're testing. You son of a... Haven't seen the auto fail yet this game, and there it is. So we're going to take 3 damage. Our buddy can take 1. Good old Leo, and we'll take 2 more. So we took a couple damage there. What can you do? I mean, I was expecting to take some damage, but not 3. All right, we're fighting the man in the Pallid mask. We can actually commit a rise to the occasion to this, since his combat is 4 and ours is only 1. But our combat is currently 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Get a -1, so he takes 2 damage. And we need to hit him 1 more time. We'll spend both our resources to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 v4. Have nothing else. And we get a -2, so we're 4v4, so he dies. So the man is dead. So we can advance. if the man in the Pallid mask was defeated, mark 2 conviction, remove him from the game, and advance to the way out. The way out. At the end of the round, if the gate to hell is in play, discard the location that is farthest from the gate to hell and deal 2 damage to each player and move to the next location. So, I believe this location here is the farthest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're okay. We're not really in any danger of having a location ripped out from underneath us. So we just need to plan our turn appropriately, and we can get out of here. So we've got 2 actions remaining. I really want these clues. Do I just gain? I probably just gain 2 resources. Then I gain a 3rd. Then I can play Intel next turn. And then zig past Ishimaru. Or have a chance to get by her. Yeah, I'm going to just gain a couple resources. Or do that. Does his action... It's a card effect, right? So I can gain resources normally with him. So I'm going to do that. Enemy phase, Ishimaru's moving down. Upkeep... Thanks. Now the eye shows up right when the game is at its end. So we draw the eye. We gain another resource. We'll gain our 4 actions. We will fill up family inheritance. So we're in a good position to play Intel Report. Move. Maybe go to Well of Souls? Man, I want that. I want to get that victory point. When I'm playing standalone, I like to try to do as much as I can. Like, if I have my weakness, if it's like something like the debt one, I want to pay it off. If I have like victory points I can get, I want to get them. So that's what we're going to try to do here. We may have to just run for it as well, but we've got 3 turns or 4 turns. Another Grasping Hands. Okay, well, that's the second one. This actually killed me playing this deck once. I drew a couple of Grasping Hands and I couldn't deal with it. I'm really not in a good position here, so we're going to spend 3 resources. So we're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6v3. Where do we go? Yeah, 6v3. Chaos Bag says +1. Oh, you son of a... Okay, well, that was interesting. There are tokens in there, so that's good. So we passed the Grasping Hands. All right, we want to grab these 2 clues. So we will spend 4 resources to play Intel Report. Now, the trick is to get past the woman. We can afford to take a damage and a horror from her, then evade her. She's a hunter. She's not retaliate, or she's not alert. Let's move. We'll move up. We'll track shoes. So we're going to go 3v3 or 3v3. Ugh. 2, 3, v3. Well, I'm not playing Lucky Penny, so we're going to go 4v3. All right, 4v3. Oh, -3, so we're stopped dead in our tracks. And now we have to deal with her. So we are 3v3 to evade her. All right, now's the time to draw some of those blessed tokens. Oh, that's a -2. And I guess we'll just try to evade her again. That's a -2. So we're stuck with her. We take a damage and a horror. I think I lose Leo at this point. And that's that. Unfortunately. We get a resourceful. We can gain... We keep the resource and get 4 more so we can evade her. We just don't have a good way of getting those clues, unfortunately. So we only have 3 actions, but that's okay. I mean, Leo generated so much action advantage over the course of the scenario that that's fine. 9 out of 12. Crypt Chill, so chances are we were going to lose Leo anyway. 4v1. We're just going to lose something. The question is, what do we lose? The Fire Axe? If we need to evade her. Yeah, we lose the Fire Axe. All right. See, I would lose the tower, but I don't know if I can or not. I assume I probably can, since it's in play, not in my hand. But we'll do it this way. So Ishimaru, we need to evade her. We're gonna go 1, so we are at 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7 v3. Eight v3. Commit resourceful. I want to see what we have in here. Nothing I really need, but we'll go 8v3. We get a 0, so she's evaded, and we get something back. I mean, we could take Signum. We're going to take Direct Horror or discard 2 cards at random. Is it 1 horror? 2, 1. So I could take... If I try to go for the Well of Souls, I need a way of passing the test there to grab that clue. think we take a look what I found, just in case. So she's evaded. I think all we need to do is actually just be at the gate. So basically what we could do, so as of this turn, we can win. All we need to do is move twice, we take 2 horror, we win the game. I am not going to do that because I want this victory point. So I am going to move and move. So we're going to move to the Well of Souls. We're going to end our turn there. We're going to take a direct horror. So that gives us 1 turn to grab this clue, then move, and we'll win. That's the plan. We shouldn't have to worry about, oh, there's Trial by Fire. Nice. Okay. That gives us a bit of breathing room. So, do we want a resource? I don't think we do. Or do we? Five v4. 6v4 with Dark Horse. Yeah, we want to keep the resource. We want that resource because we're going to play Trial by Fire. That'll give us 6v4. We've got a couple of actions to do it. We should be okay. All right. We get our 3 actions. Go to Mythos. It's turn 17. A little bit longer game here. Bag gives us the Corpse Dweller. This is the guy I was talking about. Discard a humanoid enemy at any location. Is she humanoid? No, she's a monster. Okay. That would have been weird. So he just surges because there's no humanoids. There are no Catacombs Dawsons. Eyes in the Walls. Test 3 willpower for each point you fail by. We have to take a horror. So this is, again, we have to commit hard to this. We are currently 2. We go. We go 2, 3, 4v3. We get a blessing. 6v3. We get a curse, which we can cancel. So we're still 6v3. We get that, which a skull, which is -2, so we pass. So we don't take any horror. We play Trial by Fire, being fast. So we go, we set our base skill value to 5, +1 from Dark Horse is 6v4. We'll commit the Eye of Jinn to go 8v4. We get a -3, so we pass. So we grab this clue. We move here. We take 2 horror when we move again. 2 direct, 2 horror, or we lose an action. We will take 2 horror to move, and we escape. All right. Well, the deck didn't do anything that I wanted it to do, but that's okay. We still win. The Dark Horse Preston archetype is a very strong deck, very good deck, very fun deck to play. So it's quite capable of winning without Lucky Penny or the Eye. Works nice. It's better when it has them in play, but as you can see, we still managed to pull out the victory despite not having Lucky Penny or Eye of Jinn. So yeah, we We got, we didn't have to deal with our weakness. That was good. We ended up with, I believe, 3 or 4. Oh no, we got a lot of VP because we killed the Specter, the dead guy here. So we got, in the end, we ended up with 2 VP there, 3, 4, 5. So not bad. 5 VP for this run if we were playing in campaign, but of course this is standalone. So the Dark Horse Preston deck once again prevails. Unfortunately, I was hoping to show you how Lucky Penny and Eye of Jinn worked in this deck. That didn't happen. That's what happens when you play with 2 cards that are exceptional. With only 1 copy each, it's hard to draw them reliably, especially in an investigator like Preston, who doesn't have a ton of draw to work with. And then, you know, maybe Signum Crucis is the wrong move here. Maybe we need Take Heart just for that draw. That could be, that certainly could be the case. But you also need Bless tokens to try to fuel the Lucky Penny. Again, see, it's less like you need the draw to draw the card that draws you cards. It's a bit of a clunky that way. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed the game of the day. If you enjoyed this content, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel a great deal. And I will be back tomorrow with another game. And make sure, if you want to get in on the fun, head over to SurveyMonkey. Fill out answer the quick 3 questions in the survey about which investigator you'd like to see me play and what scenarios you'd like to see me play, and I will do my very best to bring those games to you. And until then, I hope that you have a fantastic day. That's going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed what you hear, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you need to contact me, I can be reached at manfromlang@gmail.com. I'm also on Twitter at manfromlang. Until the stars are right, keep your shotgun close and your elder sign closer. Take care out there, and happy investigating.